Welcome to The Explainer. Have you ever felt like you're on this treadmill, constantly chasing something? More money, a better job title, the next big thing, only to get it and realize, I don't feel any different. Well, today we're diving into a pretty powerful idea. What if true prosperity has nothing to do with what you have and everything to do with how you feel?
Okay, so to kick things off, our source material uses this really vivid analogy. It frames prosperity as this seductive, alluring force that we're all just wired to desire. It's magnetic, right? But what is it about this chase that has us so completely hooked, even when it sometimes leaves us feeling, a little empty?
Well, it turns out what we're often chasing isn't really prosperity itself. It's the feeling we think it'll give us. It's this temporary, exhilarating high that we get from achieving something, this little hit of external validation that for a moment makes us feel like we finally made it. And you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? That rush of buying your first car, the pride of getting that promotion, the warmth you feel when someone praises your work. And yeah, those feelings are amazing. But here's the catch. They don't last. The high wears off and suddenly we're right back where we started, just with a new craving for the next thing.
And so this is what happens, right? We get caught in this cycle, this never-ending chase that, if we're being honest, can feel exhausting and, after a while, pretty meaningless.
And check out this analogy. It really hits home. It's like we're a mouse in a wheel, just running and running as fast as we can, burning all this energy, but never actually getting anywhere. We're just stuck in a loop. It's a trap. This illustrates the paradox perfectly. So you've got the guy on the motorcycle, and he's dreaming of cruising in a luxury Maybach. Then you have the Maybach owner, and he's looking out at the water, dreaming of owning a yacht. But, and this is the kicker, the yacht owner is often looking back, dreaming of the simple, carefree freedom of just riding a motorcycle. It's this completely closed loop of dissatisfaction, where everyone wants what someone else has. So, it all begs this huge question, right? Are we just doomed to be in this endless cycle of wanting more? Or is there another way to live? Is it possible to feel prosperous every single day without having to run this endless race?
Okay, this is the real turning point in this whole idea. The source material argues that maybe, just maybe, we've been looking for prosperity in all the wrong places. The key isn't to chase more stuff on the outside, but to actually turn our attention inward.
So what we're talking about here is a massive shift in how we define prosperity. Forget the old checklist, right? Wealth, achievements, status, that's the old way. The true definition is an internal state. It's about finding peace, feeling a sense of freedom, and committing to your own personal growth. It's an inside job. Okay, so if true prosperity is about cultivating peace, freedom, and growth, how in the world do we actually do that? Well, the answer, according to our source, is a practice that's ancient but has never been more important than it is today: mindfulness.
Now, our source uses the beautiful Vietnamese term Thinh Thuc, which translates to mindfulness or awakening. And this isn't about some complicated ritual. Forget that. At its core, it's something so much simpler and more accessible. It's about having a real, profound conversation with yourself.
I mean, how powerful is that framing? This quote suggests that practicing mindfulness isn't just another self-help hack. It's a second birth. It's the moment you truly awaken and start living your own life with intention for the first time. So how do you practice this in a world that is screaming for your attention 24/7? And you might be thinking, great, another thing to add to my to-do list. But here's the surprising part. It's not about adding something new. It's about transforming the things you're already doing. First things first, we got to ditch this idea that meditation means sitting perfectly still in a silent room trying to empty your mind. It's not that. It's simply about finding any moment where you can be truly with yourself, without distraction. It's about carving out a little bit of quiet focus in the middle of all the noise. And these moments are everywhere. Think about it. Doing a familiar workout at the gym, going for a quiet walk, or even just doing simple housework like cooking or washing the dishes. Any task that's so automatic it doesn't require complex thought, that's your chance. It allows that busy, analytical part of your brain to quiet down, and that's when your inner voice, your intuition, finally has a chance to speak up.
And once you start doing this, even for a few minutes a day, it kicks off this amazing chain reaction. This inner work completely flips the script on what it means to be successful. It all starts right here. By consistently connecting with yourself, you build this deep inner strength, this resilience. You start operating from a place of high energy. You just feel better, more positive, more solid. And when you're in that high energy, clear state, that's when the magic happens. Your creativity just flows. You start seeing connections you missed before and coming up with better, more elegant solutions to problems, both at work and in your life.
So, do you see the shift? The external stuff, the success, the recognition, the money. It stops being the thing you chase. Instead, it becomes a natural byproduct of your internal state. It's like you stop chasing success and it starts flowing to you.
And honestly, this is the real game changer. This is the ultimate reward. You stop living for some imaginary finish line in the future. Instead, you start finding real beauty and joy in the process, in the day-to-day journey. You're no longer just a passenger. You're finally in the driver's seat of your own life.
So let's make this real. This isn't about some huge, life-altering change. It starts small. So I'll leave you with this question. What is one small, everyday activity you can reclaim as your moment of mindfulness starting today?